Welcome to my videos in my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about the NBA standings week 3. Well, yesterday finished the week 3 of the NBA 2023-2024 season, and today we'll start the NBA the week 4 with 4 games. So I'm going to talk about how are sorry the NBA standings after 3 games of games. I'm going to start like the always like the East Conference where the 76ers are still leading. They are back-to-back leading the back-to-back weeks leading the conference where they have a record A1. They have won the last 8 games. Remember that they lost the first game against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they have won the last 8 games. I thought, and they predicted that I thought that they were going to suffer in the first game because James Harden left the team. But in my opinion, I think that they're going to qualify to the playoffs. But I didn't expect that they were going to lead the conference. But there is still very early because there is just been playing in 9 or 10 games. In the second place are the Celtics with a record 7-2. They have a streak of two, two wins, but you can see here that they are suffering winning in the road because they have the only 2 losses has been where they were playing in the on the road. In the third place, for my surprise, are tied the Pacers and the Heat. Sorry, sorry, the Pacers are playing a very great basketball. I didn't expect that, but they're still early. A lot will be changed. You can see that as a local team, they are playing a very great basketball, but they are not playing a very great, a lot in the beginning of the season, and they are suffering a lot in the road where they just have one victory. The Heat, they started a very bad the season, but in this week, in this week and. In the first the 2 weeks they started very bad, but they have won the last 5 games, and in this moment they are in the fourth position. The Hawks and the Magic have the same record. Remember that they come back to play to Mexico the last Thursday, where it was a tremendous game where the Hawks won the game in the last play of the game, and they have the same record. You can see here the Hawks have the same record as a local team, as a away team, and the Magic have a better record as a home team. The Knicks and the Bucks have the same record at the house, the Magic, where they have the same victory, 5-4. I am very surprised for what is happening with the Bucks because I thought that with the Aman Lillard, they are gonna to be the best team in this moment in the league, but they are suffering a lot because Damian Lillard isn't adaptive like the Bucks expected. I remember that something happened here that because they left to go the the Drew Holiday, they are suffering defense, but I think that they are gonna to come back to be one of the best team in the conference. But in this moment, they are suffering a lot because they have 5 wins and 4 losses, and they have a two losses streak. And the next one in the next position we are recording 500, and in the record below they have 500 are the Cavaliers and the Raptors with the same record for 5. The Bulls have a record of 5-6. The Hornets have a record of 3-6. The Wizards 2-7 and the Pistons 2-9. In my opinion, the three worst team in this conference will be the Hornets, the Wizards, and the Pistons, and will fight to be the first pick in the next draft of the next year. And something that is happening in the Pistons is that they have lost the last 8 games that they have played. And in the West Conference, we can see here the actual reigning champion team, the actual reigning team, the Denver Nuggets, are leading this conference since the beginning. They have a record 8-2. They have the same record of the Mavericks. That, in my opinion, is one of the surprise because I didn't expect that they have been in this high position. They have a two tremendous players like the Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving, but they are playing a very, very good basketball. And the surprise to me until this moment are two teams, the Timberwolves and the Rockers, because the Timberwolves and the Rockers have the same streak. They have won the last 6 games that each one have won, and they have in the first position in the conference. It's very surprising. It's very great that different teams can lead the conference in this moment. But remember that there is still early and there is still a lot of games left to play. In the 5th position are the Thunder with record 6-4. Also, it's a surprise. The Warriors that they started a very great the season. Now they have lost 3 consecutive games and they fell to the 6th position. The Knicks that in this moment up to the 7th position. Remember that they had 2 consecutive wins and they have a record of 500. My Lakers that have a record of 500. They have a bad week in the beginning, but later they have won the last 2 games. Remember that they won for first time in the season as a road team because they won in the NBA in season tournament against the Sun the last Friday, and the first victory on the road, and the Steelers and sorry and the Lakers are on the field as a home team. And the Suns, they have a record of 4-6. They have 2 consecutive losses, and this is very important here with the Suns because they are playing a very great basketball, but they can hand the leading because this has happened. They have lost the game in the last. They have lost several games in the last quarter where they were leading the game in the other 3 quarters. So they need to know how to close the games. But remember that they have 3 superstars: the Durant, Booker, and Bill, but they don't have the roster. They transfer all the rosters for the Bill because they want to win a championship. But it's very difficult. But they don't have a very good roster, a very good bench, and maybe they are going to suffer. The Pelicans that they were in the first places in the last 2 weeks, but they have lost 5 consecutive games. Like the Clippers that since the Harden was transferred, they have lost the last 5 games, and this is very concerning because with Harden they are starting to play a very bad basketball, and the Trailblazers have the same record as the Clippers and the Spurs. That like the Pelicans and Clippers started very great the season. They have lost now the 5 consecutive games and they have 7 losses. And the Jazz and the Grizzlies are the worst team in the conference in this moment. The Grizzlies just have 2 wins and 8 losses, but be remembered because they are waiting that the Jay Moran comes back to play because remember that he was suspended 25-30 games, so he's gonna to come back. I think in the first days of the next year, because in this moment they have the Grizzlies have played 10 games, so there is 15 games less that Jay Moran comes back to play. So here's my opinion about how are the NBA standings are after 3 weeks of games. See you next video. Chibren.